Yeah. Our next speaker, I think you run too, don't you? Sometimes. Brian, we're going to find out what he does on the weekends and what successful people do on the weekends. Brian will be doing speech number 3 out of Competent Communicator Manual. The speech title is Habits of Successful People When They're Not Working. And I'm not talking about when they're unemployed, but that might apply. We're saying, if you work 38 hours a week, what do you do those remaining seconds, minutes, and hours? Watch TV, HBO, but I have a feeling successful people don't watch TV. I could be wrong. Brian, go us in. Speech number 3.
Toastmaster. I've always come across those lists about how to be successful, how successful people do well at their jobs and get to the place where they're at now. What I always found was most interesting was what they do in their off time. What do they do before they get to the office, when they get home, and what they do on the weekends. I've done a little research, and with respect to the morning, a lot of successful people have a certain routine. Everyone has a routine. It depends on someone's personal preference. The 2 major things I found with respect to successful people, what they do in the morning is they spend quality time with family, and then they exercise. Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, actually meditates in the morning, and he jogs for 6 miles every morning, which to me I think is amazing. Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group, does early morning exercise and then spends quality time with his family. The late Steve Jobs apparently woke up every morning thinking to himself, if today was the last day of my life, would I be happy with what I'm about to do today? President Obama apparently every morning does a cardio and weight routine and enjoys breakfast with his family. It helps sending his 2 daughters to pack and get ready for sleep. It all depends on your personal preference. So, successful people go to the office, they do what they gotta do, and they get home. I can go into all the different things you can do when you get home. For the sake of time, I'll focus on one thing. And one thing I found is that generally, successful people, if they can, try to get quality sleep. And that's pretty obvious. Everyone always tells you gotta get a good 8 hours. And it's surprising to me that actually, though, that in the research I found is that a lot of successful people, you would think with all the stuff that they have to do, that there's no way they think they can get 8 hours or anything close to that. But apparently, actually, a lot of them do. And it's surprising to me, actually, people have done research on the specific times people sleep when they wake up. Apparently, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, he sleeps 7 hours a day. From what I know, enters thousands of emails a day. He has to sleep time of apparently 9:30 to 4:30 a.m. Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin, sleeps from 12 to 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. He sleeps about 5-6 hours a day. Jack Dorsey apparently has a set schedule from 10:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. And with respect to getting this quality sleep, generally the experts say, and what research has shown, is that these successful people, they follow certain kinds of habits. Things that would seem pretty obvious to most people, but what a lot of people don't do. I violate all of these. That includes cutting down on caffeine, which I'm violating right now, and staying away from alcohol, unplugging, avoiding bright screen within 2 hours of sleeping, not watching TV, just winding down, spending time with family. That's apparently what the experts say. So that's the nights, that's the mornings, but what do successful people do on the weekends? According to Laura Vanderkam, she's the author of the book of what most successful people do on the weekend. She details it down to 6 points. First thing to do, apparently, what successful people do on the weekend is to plan. because you can't be too leisurely about what you do on the weekends because you will end up doing nothing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can plan your whole weekend out back to back. The second thing to do is to do the chores you gotta do, but don't fill the entire weekend with chores. The third thing she recommends is, according to her research, reflect on whether you're progressing toward your goals. Think about what you can do next week to take a big step forward and achieve it. The fourth thing is to mingle and bond. Apparently, research shows that socializing with family and friends brings happiness. It's pretty obvious, but sometimes it's good to have a reminder to do it. The fifth thing she recommends is to take a break from all screens and exercise, engage in physical fitness, take a walk. And the sixth thing she recommends is to recharge, do something that inspires you, read, engage in a seminar, watch a speech, watch a movie, do something that inspires you to achieve what you want to achieve. All in all, the main theme I got from all this research was, if you would want to emulate what most successful people do when they're off the clock, enjoy yourself. Leave work at the office. It will always be there. Enjoy your life at that moment. Meditate on what you're doing right there and then. And sooner or later, you'll become much more fulfilling.